Hey everybody, it's Doom here in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and today we're on the Manticore. Well, today we're on multiple things, but the Manticore is one of them. And basically a Manticore is a large magical beast that flies around and shoots spikes and likes to eat people. They're evil and they're intelligent. They have 6 spikes on their tail that as a attack can shoot them 180 foot, but all the targets have to be within 30 feet of each other. There is no range increment on that, by the way. According to their stat block, they also have a +4/2 spot, but otherwise they are not particularly exciting. They're about 10 foot long, 2 inches. So your standard cat could be good for that. So let's get started right off the bat. So it doesn't show it, but I have seen so much artwork of manticores having a scorpion tail. And I think, like, in traditional kind of lore where they came from, which I think is Greek mythology, they did. So I have a scorpion that we've stolen apart from before here. And I'm going to start building a tail with this. And then I'm just going to take this guy's tail off of him. I'm going to try to round that off a little bit. Let's see if I can attach that. Okay, we need to take one thing off of that. No problem. Okay, that'll work. I'm putting a little dibby dab, which is a dibby dab is smaller than a dab. It's like a less than a dab kind of situation. Okay. I did not get that where I want it, so I'm going to try it again. And I used more than a dibby dab. That means we're going to come up and do some cleanup work later. I'm going to use minor burning hands to clean that up. Something like that. I'm not unhappy with that. For the rest of the build, I think we can do it on the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my baking soda, or my, not baking soda, my... Oh, we're out. Okay. Oh, look what happened. Our tail settled somewhere I didn't want it to. All right, we'll come back to that because we kind of got to get this part going here. Now he should be on our base pretty sturdy at this point. Once you do something like that, that's kind of a permanent, he's on there forever deal. So let's get a dibby dab. Again, a dibby dab is like a dab that's smaller than a dab. Okay. And we're going to kind of drag that along and strengthen that up a little bit so it doesn't fall again on us until we get to the next part where we make that its permanent home. And I'm just filling this in with a little bit of glue and then dragging that out to meet with his body so it's kind of flush. And that's a step you don't have to do. I mean, people are just going to be glad to see a Manticore on the table, I'm sure. Or maybe they won't be glad, but You know what I mean. Okay. So that looks pretty sturdy. And the reason I didn't put that straight up and down is because I like them to look like they're doing something. I don't like miniatures to look like they're just sitting at rest. So I've got a couple sets of wings I pulled out for dragon wings. And one is this one, and I don't really like these. But I think they'd be good for it. But I think I'm going to use these smaller ones off of this guy here. Let me get a bigger set of snippers out. Get the big boy snippers. And these are going to be a little smaller than I want, but I think they'll look better. And it's not going to be as believable that Manticores can fly with these tiny wings, but at the same time, I just want this to look decent. And those big cartoony wings are just not ideal for what I'm trying to accomplish. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to kind of clean that up. And I'm going to put baking soda on here too. But I do want these to be semi-sturdy. So I'm just getting some extra glue and then kind of like smearing it around so there's no lumpy dumps. Let's use that minor burning hand spell and remove some of these spider webs because they irk me. Alright, so these dudes have spikes on their backs, and we could use toothpicks, but I thought that maybe some bits of wire would be better. So let's get something to catch this wire in. I have stuff everywhere. Something to put wire on is what I'm looking for. And I have this this thing here, which would be a good wire catcher. So I'm just going to get some pieces of wire and snip them up at different lengths. To act as spikes on his back. And what I want to do is I want to kind of work from the back forward and add some little spikes. And to do that initially, I'm just going to get a little dab of hot glue and drag that around and get it all over that spike, and then kind of leave it for a minute. And I'm going to do that a couple times and just get some spikes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of stagger them a little bit so they're not symmetrical. Personal choice for me. You can do it how you want. I just thought it would look better. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's gone. Just like that. Oh, there it is. Dang it. And I am going to cut these down, by the way. I'm not leaving them this ridiculously long. I made them this long so I'd be able to work with them a little bit easier. Not because I thought they needed to be so long that they were ridiculous. And I'm kind of trying to point them a little bit like so where they're not like super symmetrical either. Like I'm pointing them out in kind of like different angles and different directions. Again, just because I personally think that would look better. You do yours how you want. That's important that you're happy with the way your miniature looks. And it's not important if I'm happy with the way your miniature looks. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to need to add 2 more on the front. I didn't have quite enough. Let me find the end of my wire there. Make a couple more of those real quick. I probably should have ate something. I think my blood sugar might be a little low. I'm having more trouble than usual controlling where my hands go. And that's okay. I'm having all kind of problems with this guy. Not a big deal. Okay, so we do need to sturdy that up. And probably the best way to get started sturdying this up is to do a layer of super glue down the middle and let it run onto the bottoms of those spikes on both sides. And to get some baking soda, which this is like the Dungeons and Baking Soda channel more so than the Dungeons and Doom channel, because baking soda and super glue have kind of become the stars of this show over time. So I'm going to take these spikes and I'm going to snip them shorter towards the back and leave them longer towards the front. But I'm going to do it over my trash because I don't want these getting in my sandals and stabbing my feet. So I'll be right back. All right. So now I kind of want to bend them around a little bit so they're kind of interesting. And to do that, I'm just going to use my fingers. And some of them I'm going to curve a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I think it would look good. And now I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to run it up the first part of them a little bit just to make them a little sturdier when we go to paint them. Mostly. So I'm just dragging it up about halfway onto those spikes. Just a dibby dab of glue. Nothing too spectacular. I'm going to go back and fix any spots I need to do it better. Because apparently there were spots where it needed it better. We just don't want these to be so bendy, you know. Now they're not free bending. I'm going to get this minor burning hand spell and clean up any of the little mess we have everywhere. And as I predicted, these wings got solidified by that on the back there. We just want to sturdy that tail up so that when we go to paint it, it's not all over the place. And then they do shoot spikes out of their tail, so my scorpion tail has to die. And what we're going to do to get rid of that is we're going to snip off that little bit there. And then we're just going to cut some little lengths of spike. 1, 2, whoops. 3, 4. Oh, I lost that piece. I got 4. Okay. 5, 6. All right, I'm going to put these in a little bundle. Like that. I'm going to snip off the excess. I'm going to get a dab of hot glue. I'm going to spread those out a little bit. Just a little bit. Like that. I'm going to get a little bit of glue here in between them. Okay. He's looking pretty sturdy. 6 spikes on the tail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6. And then he's got the spikes on his back, which are looking pretty good. And then everything else is kind of where we want it. So let's call that victory. And then when we come back in part 2, we'll paint him up, and then hopefully he'll look sick. There are some little weird spots on him, like some mold spots. You can just get a little bit of glue and rub it there and follow the texture and kind of get rid of those, or you can just leave them, really. I don't want to leave mine for some reason. It takes 2 seconds. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Please leave me a comment. I like answering comments. I'm old and I enjoy that. And join us for part 2. Go on the website, link in the description. Buy some minis if you want. And join our Discord. Hang out with us, paint, craft, play RPGs, you know, just Discord stuff. Video games. Thanks for watching.